Welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. We are going to plant lettuce and bok choy in our GreenStalk as well as into a different container. Hi everybody, welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. We are doing indoor garden projects. It is December 25th. Yes, it's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of those good things. And so what else am I doing on Christmas Day other than working in my garden? Because this is what I love to do. On Christmas Day in our home, we all kind of go our separate ways later in the day and we do whatever brings us joy. And planting vegetables and growing things is what brings me joy today. We are going to focus on transplanting all of this lettuce, and you see it is time for this lettuce to be transplanted. So we're going to transplant all of this lettuce, and I have some bok choy, 6 plants in one container, and they're teeny tiny, and we're going to plant 3 or 4 of these plants today. So we're going to just jump right to it. The reason why I'm not only going to plant this lettuce in my GreenStalk, because yes, I have a lot of GreenStalks and it's one of my preferred ways of growing, especially from vertical growing. But everybody doesn't have room for a GreenStalk, or everybody can't afford a GreenStalk. And so I wanted to show you there are other ways to grow food, and you can grow some beautiful food in little bitty containers like this. Now this is a little, I don't even know how big this is, but a teeny little container where we purchased some kind of plant sometime in the past that I held onto this container. It's just a little nursery container, and we're going to plant lettuce in it. That's it, this little bitty container, and we're going to put one of these old water catching trays underneath it, and I'm going to show you that you don't need a lot of space to grow lettuce, and you don't need grow lights. I'm going to grow this one. Well, maybe I am. We'll have to see. I'm going to see if I can put it under one of my shop lights. I think I got room. I can add it to one of the shop lights so you can see that you can grow lettuce without all of the high-powered lights and without all of the fancy contraptions. And then, of course, I am going to plant this lettuce in my GreenStalk so we can get it started. And y'all, I have a lot of lettuce. I have so much lettuce going. You're going to get to see what's going in my GreenStalk right here in just a few minutes. But in addition to the GreenStalk, I have my hydroponic systems going as well. And so here's a couple shots of those hydroponic systems. And they're not ready to harvest yet, but we're starting to get close. So yes, I'm planting more lettuce. No, I don't need any more lettuce, but I'll just gift it if I need to. So let's start with this very simple way of growing lettuce. Let me get this out the way for now. Very simple, little bitty pot. I've put some potting soil in this pot. And from a potting soil standpoint, I like to use Happy Frog, which I have a bag of it right here. It's my preferred brand. And right now my preferred fertilizer is Dr. Earth. So I have some Dr. Earth right here. And I got some gloves right here somewhere. Here we go. So I am going to put my little gloves on, because the one thing I don't like is getting a whole bunch of dirt up under my fingernails. Ooh, can't do it, can't do it. So we will plant this one here. This is Cimarron. Cimarron is a beautiful plant. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's growing very nicely, and it's kind of done growing unless I give it some more space. So I need to go from this container to this container here, and you can see there's a lot more soil in there, and so this should get bigger and flourish. We got our Happy Frog in here already. I didn't add any fertilizer, but we'll add just a little bit. It doesn't really need it because the Happy Frog has all kinds of fertilizer already in it. Just put a little bit right there on the top. Another thing that I'm going to use that you don't have to use, but I want to make sure that this plant has the exact same ingredients as the plant that I'm going to put in my GreenStalk. And I use Mykos in the plants that I'm getting ready to put in my GreenStalk. Mykos is a mycorrhizal inoculant that helps get those roots established. So I'm just going to dig a little hole here for where we're going to pull this one out and put it right in here. And I'm going to give it just a little Mykos. When you're giving it Mykos, some people like to put it right on the roots of their plants. I actually sprinkle it in my container versus putting it on the roots of the plant. I think the directions say the root of the plant. At the end of the day, it's going to touch the roots of the plant anyway when I pull it out of here and put it in there. So let's get this out. They were watered earlier today, but look at that, y'all. Doesn't it look good? Beautiful root structure there that we're going to put in this teeny little pot. Teeny little pot. Uh-oh. Got to dig it a little bit more. Make it a little wider. And we're going to plant it back to the depth it already was. And there it is. I'm going to add just a couple cupfuls of Happy Frog. Just to make sure I got it in all the way around. It's probably too much dirt. And so before I get this all wet, let me get my dirt out of it. There it is. Cimarron, single plant in this pot right here. And it's going to grow a beautiful, beautiful head of lettuce. Now we're going to put it down in this container here so we can catch water, because I don't want water all over my floor. So to water this container, I'm going to water it from the top. This soil is super dry, so I'm watering it in very slowly. Even though the plant itself had been watered earlier today, the soil that was in this little container, the Happy Frog soil, was very dry, so we are going to water it in. And if I overwater, it's okay, because guess what, y'all? This little tray is going to catch it, and then it'll be able to absorb it from the bottom. Now, one of the other things a lot of people are concerned about are pests when they're growing indoors. So to help with pests, and usually it's flying insects. So like fungus gnats is the big deal for me. When I am in my primary growing season, which starts in just a couple of weeks with onions and a few other things, but when I'm in my primary growing season, I always start my seeds in a seed starting mix. You can do whatever you want, start it in whatever you want to start it in. But for me, I use a seed starting mix, and I always boil that seed starting mix before I put the seeds in to try to help with fungus gnats, larvae, that kind of stuff. But I didn't do that. I came straight out the bag with the Happy Frog, y'all. So in order to help control those fungus gnats, I do use Mosquito Bits. Mosquito Bits anywhere where I am catching water. So I will be catching water in this tray. Anywhere I believe water may be standing, I'm going to put the Mosquito Bits in there. The Mosquito Bits will not kill flying insects, but they will keep the larvae from growing and hatching. So it stops that cycle. So I got my Mosquito Bits in the bottom here. I'm going to put just a little bit more water in. And y'all, that's it. This plant is ready to start growing and producing and getting big and beautiful. Cimarron. Here is a picture of Cimarron just so you want to kind of see what it looks like when it's to its full glory in size. And it's delicious. It is so delicious. A lot of people have been asking about this particular lettuce, and Cimarron is amazing. Again, here's a picture. I think I purchased it. Well, the picture tells you. I think it's in my gardeners where I got it from. But Cimarron, beautiful, crunchy center. Even though the outside has like the purple leaves, when you get into the center, it kind of curls around itself just a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful plant. There's Cimarron, water's coming out the bottom. This is ready to go. And we're going to just move it over under one of my shop lights, not a grow light, so we can get this one started. So this is one of my shop lights. I think it's got a 8,000K or something like that light. It's one of the higher bulbs of a shop light. And we're going to set this buddy right here beside it. Right here on the edge, it's getting the light right here. And this is all the light this one's going to get. Slide that down a little bit. And, I mean, yes, it's getting light. There is definitely residual light coming down from my grow lights, but most of the light that this plant's going to see is going to come from this grow light right here. And it's kind of out the way. I hope I don't forget to water it. That is out the way. And let's see how it grows compared to the GreenStalks. Now, let's move over to the GreenStalks now and get the rest of this lettuce transplanted in, as well as the Bok Choy. Okay, we're over to the GreenStalk now. I've added the 4th tier to my GreenStalk. So I have 4 tiers in this GreenStalk right here. And we're going to go ahead and add that lettuce here. So let's try to figure out what we're going to do. Down below, I put 2 slow bolt per pocket. I'm going to put us a red in here. And we're going to, I think I have 2 Lantus Winters per pocket too. Here we go. And we will put Bok Choy in between each. So let's first start with the lettuce. I've already prepared this tier. This tier has the Happy Frog in it. It has the Dr. Earth in it already. The only thing that it does not have in it is the Mykos. And we're going to add the Mykos to each one of these pockets. So this is Merlot, and here's a picture of Merlot for you. And so we will add Merlot to this pocket. I already have Merlot growing below, and y'all, Merlot is delicious. But I found the farther from the light that I put Merlot, the fewer red leaves that it has. So I have Merlot growing on 3 of the 4 tiers. Well, 2. This will be the 3rd tier. And so you'll see how the red leaves are darker red the closer it is to the light. So this is Merlot going in. Beautiful root structure. Beautiful, beautiful. It's kind of been the same size that it is right now for a few weeks. So it definitely wanted a bigger space to stretch out. Now we will put some more soil around it after I plant the other pockets. Lantus Winter, not that you need a picture of it, but here's a picture of my Lantus Winter. And I'm going to be honest with you, Lantus Winter has been the best growing lettuce indoors this season. I put 2 per pocket down below. I am going to attempt to do the same thing. The only thing is that these plants are so much larger than the other ones were. I don't know if I can get 2 in here, but we're going to definitely try to put 2 per pocket. Pushing my soil around so I can get the Mykos in. If we can't get 2 per pocket, I mean, 1 is definitely more than enough, but we're going for 2. Beautiful, y'all. Beautiful, beautiful. The root structure on everything looks good, y'all. I don't know, y'all. I don't see 2 going in here, but we're going to try. I do believe if you want to do this right, one is all you really should put per pocket. But I am going to put two. I'm going to squeeze it in there. And if it slows down the growth, that's okay because I have too much anyway. But my goal is to put two per pocket. I got it dirty, but it's in there. Lantus winter. And we're going to come on around here and we're going to do the exact same thing with slow boat. Two per pocket. And then I'm going to pull this camera down so you can see how the other pockets are doing anyway. So you can see where I already have two per pocket. When I put two per pocket, I harvest one and then I go back afterwards and then it gives the other one room to grow, but I don't have to wait as long to be able to get a second harvest. So two per pocket is what we're going to do on these two, and only, I think I did it on Bib as well, but slow boat, Lantus winter, two per pocket. Oh, that was perfect. That sit right down in there. All right, let's work on the other side. I brought just a little potting soil so I can backfill the pockets if they need it. The ones that's got two in it really don't need it. This one could use a little bit. Merlot, Lantus winter, and slow boat are in. And so now we are going to plant, oh, this is not looking so happy, but we're going to go ahead and plant some of this teeny tiny Bok Choy. Now this Bok Choy is tiny, but it has true leaves on it already. And so we are going to put two Bok Choy per pocket. And I like to harvest my Bok Choy young, very young, when it's super sweet and super tender. And so for the Bok Choy, I don't need as much room because I have 6 little babies growing on one cell. This soil is already moist. It's been watered. So when I pull it out, I should be able to pull out just this one with roots and all. See that right there? Look, I just pulled it straight out. Teeny little Mykos in the pocket, and it doesn't take but a teeny little bit. And so there's that teeny little plant, and I'm going to put it back to the depth it already was. And I'm going to put a second one in here. Now, usually when I am growing my Bok Choy, I grow it down very low. And we're growing it up very high next to the light. So, which means it's going to be warmer. And if it's warmer, it could bolt on me. So that's something I got to be careful of. So I'm not going to be able to like let it sit in here. When it's ready to be harvested, I need to harvest it right away. So we're going to put two in here. Let me pull another one up and out. It's got its little roots right there. And we're going to stick it in here. And I know they look tiny, and I'm really transplanting them. You would probably say, that's a little early, Kim. They're a little tiny to be planting them in here. But let's see what happens. You know, it's the holiday, and I'm off. So we got to make use of this time while I'm off. So we got two Bok Choy in there. We're going to put two more in right here. There it is with its little roots. And it has excellent root structure. I mean, it's not in bad shape. It's in excellent shape. It just doesn't have that many true leaves on it. It has at least two, and that's all I need is at least the true leaves to be started. So we will see if it survives. And if it doesn't, Bok Choy so fast, I can just plant some more. I want to save this pocket. I'm going to save this pocket for some carrots to kind of just mix things up a little bit. So I got one more spot down low. Let me show you. All right, so here are the 4 tiers that I've been telling you about with all of my lettuce and now bok choy. I do have 1 pocket of beans, and in the very, very bottom, I have dwarf tomatoes. In the second tier down, I have micro dwarf tomatoes. So that's what's growing in here. But I have 1 pocket over here that we need to replace with something. So let me turn it around. It's this pocket right here we're working in. And there used to be lettuce in this pocket already. So there was lettuce here. I harvested the head and the head died back. So we are going to add cimarron into this pocket. And I only have 1 left, so that one's going to be easy to add to this pocket. Now this pocket has had 1 liquid fertilizer, and it had granular fertilizer when I planted it about a month and a half ago at this point. Maybe not quite a month and a half, but it's been a minute. So I'm going to add just a little bit of granular fertilizer, just a couple teaspoons full, tablespoons, teaspoons, whatever. You get the idea. And I'm going to add my Mykos, and I'm going to add my cimarron. And I only have 1 plant, so only 1 cimarron is going in this pocket. I do need to backfill it, bring that dirt level back up. And the pockets are very small, so when you're trying to put your vegetables in, your transplants in, the first time you set it up, I personally feel it's easier to fill them when the tiers are still separated and then stack your tiers. But when you are succession planting, you're not going to unstack everything. So I find little containers like this to use to help with the backfilling of the soil so that I don't spill it all over the place, especially when I'm indoors. Outdoors, no big deal. Indoors, very big deal. And y'all, that cimarron is in there and it looks amazing. So that's it for today. We're going to get this lettuce as well as that bok choy growing so you can see how it's doing. And we are going to compare this cimarron right here that has the same fertilizer, the same potting mix, the same Mykos as the one I got growing up under shop lights. And let's compare how the 2 of them are growing. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing to my channel and help me out. Help me grow my channel. I hear from a lot of the viewers that I am sharing information that's helping them start their first gardens, their first indoor gardens. You know, it's giving them the courage to go out there and grow. So if this is something you're interested in, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave me comments to let me know if I'm sharing information you want to hear and that you want to see. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out with me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.